Hi there. Today we're going to talk about the third port of call that we did on our Holland America transatlantic. We're doing a Trans-Pacific in a month. Transatlantic cruise. We stopped in Cherbourg, which is in Normandy, France.
For a little more build up. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Cherbourg.
Most people probably know Normandy because of D-Day and the beaches of Normandy. We, however, when we stopped, did not go down to the beaches. Our friends that we were traveling with did decide to do that, but it was kind of a time crunch for them.
Right. So there's two. Obviously, the boat offered a lot of tours. They were pricey and they were sold out. And our friends decided to see about renting a car when they got off the boat. We tried to do it online a few days before, and no reservation. They kept saying reservations are available, but it wouldn't let us book it. So they decided to, since we didn't have anything confirmed, we decided we were going to go explore on our own and not stress about it. They got off first thing. They were able to rent a car.
First thing in the morning.
Right, and had success with it and went and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, they went to both Omaha and Utah Beach.
Right. Places we'd like to visit next time.
Right.
Yeah.
But what we can talk about is what we did do. We had a good time.
We played ping pong for 6 hours.
No, we went to the Cité De la Mer, which means the city, or sea city.
I'll
the
take
city
your word
of the
for
sea.
It. Yeah.
And it was interesting. They did a family.
That doesn't sell it when you put it.
No, actually, it was interesting. It was fun. It was just that they did this family attraction of a man's exploration under the sea.
And I think that was extra. Like when we bought our ticket, you could buy like I think admission or admission plus that, and I think it was an extra couple dollars. Or maybe you just picked your time, but it was a separate ticket. I don't know if we ended up paying extra for it or not.
But
if you have to pay for it, I don't know that I would do it.
But it was interesting. It was definitely not the kind of interactive experiences that we've had in the States.
It's not like you're at Disneyland.
No. But it was interesting.
It was,
and it's hard to explain exactly what it was.
It really is. But think a picture of like an immersive, is probably strong.
Submersive.
Okay, since you're underwater.
We're
great. But yeah, you're in a group and you're basically on an underwater expedition, and you kind of do silly things in these exhibits that some of them move, some of them do things, and it's supposed to be like you're underwater, and it's not as submersive as you would probably hope, but it was entertaining, more so if you only speak English. Right, because to be fair, they did give us English headphones to listen to, but some things are lost in translation, so it probably made it even funnier, other than being slightly cheesy. So if I have to pay extra, I don't know that I would pay extra,
it was entertaining.
but if it's included, I would probably take the time, because it probably ended up adding a half hour.
Longer
minutes.
than that. I think it was a fairly long experience.
Yeah, it was lengthy. If you're worried about claustrophobia, like this one here, just that you don't. Everything you never. It always feels like you're going to enter a claustrophobic room, and you never do.
No,
so just know that up front.
And I am very claustrophobic, so it's absolutely
so don't
fine.
worry
Even
about
if
it.
you see the little warning signs,
Yeah, it's not bad at all. So that is an experience. And then they had
a Titanic exhibit. It was a museum / aquarium / it had a bunch of different things kind of going on.
Correct.
But the Titanic exhibit was kind of the first thing that you see when you walk in the door.
So I didn't know that Cherbourg was the first stop on the last journey of the Titanic. So,
which is kind of an odd thing to go look at when you're on the middle of a cruise.
When you're on a cruise ship, it wasn't real reassuring, but there was a lot there because it was one of the stops in Cherbourg. We didn't know much about it before, but it is kind of like the main shipbuilding town in France. So a lot of the military vessels are built there, and that was actually the main reason we went to this particular place. Is that I saw in the brochure or whatever that it was the largest nuclear submarine open for tour. And in the world, and it was super interesting. Like all military politics, all that stuff aside, like just being in a man-made vessel that can go that deep in the water for that long,
that big.
It was really cool to just kind of get to walk around it and see what. Because And it's not claustrophobic. I mean, I wouldn't want to live on the thing or go underwater in it. But if you've been on some of the like old World War II era submarines or something where you're wanting to get off as soon as you get on because it's so tight, this was not that.
No, I was absolutely fine. And our son, he's 14, he really enjoyed it as well. And they offer, it's a self-guided tour. And they had multiple languages. Obviously, we got it in English. And you are kind of guided through the
you put the number on the thing you're looking at, and then it talks you through to the next stop.
Kind of explains each area to you. So
and it's like, you hear that it's big, but it's out of the water, we should say. So it's sitting like on some kind of platform, so to speak, and you can't really appreciate how big it is until you see it. I mean, it
was pretty impressive.
It was very impressive. I just want to insert a joke right there.
Oh my God. Okay. So the other thing that Cherbourg is famous for is from a movie that was kind of before our time.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, you're old. In 1964, a movie came out called it was in French, but basically means The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. So there's an umbrella factory /store that you can go to. And we went because a friend of ours was all excited and said, oh, that's where they filmed the movie.
As soon as we said Cherbourg, she was like, that's where they filmed this movie.
Yeah, we had never heard of it before, but it was cool to take some photos because they have all these colorful umbrellas and stuff.
Unless this movie has a place in your heart, you could skip that if you're pressed for time.
Well, or if you want to go and see how they hand make these umbrellas.
It is an expensive umbrella store.
Yeah. That's basically all it is. But it is right. I mean, it's
you don't
right
have to go out of
town.
your way for it. No, it's not out of the way at all.
Yeah. So then we kind of wandered around the little town. There's lots of stores and shops and so forth. And there was a square. And we just decided to stop at one of the it was the only place that we were stopping in France on this trip. And I love France. So we decided just to kind of go to one of the little street cafes and have a pastry and a coffee and
be kind of French-like.
French.
Sit out on the front of the cafe and
stare
watch
at
people as they go by.
Because you'll notice if you've ever been to France, that's how they do it there. They always have, at every cafe, all the tables are lined up in front and the chairs are all facing out as opposed to facing each other, so you can chat.
Right, so you can kind of watch the world go by.
You're supposed to watch the people go by, yeah.
But to say for time, like that museum that we went to up front, that took a pretty big chunk of time because there's also aquariums and other things that we kind of went really quickly. We went quickly through the displays. Not that they were bad. We were wanted to be able to at least spend an hour or two in town, and just basically going from the boat to the town and back. I mean, that was the better part of the day. Right,
and also to give you a note, if you are going to be stopping there on one of your trips, we did see some people walk from the ship, and we're big walkers. We love to walk. But it was through kind of an industrial area.
Basically in the port.
Yeah. So they did offer a free bus to the town, which was only maybe a 10-minute ride, not even.
Yeah, it kind of has to go the way the roads were. I think it's one way is why, but it kind of goes a long way to get into town. But if you were to walk, I bet you it'd take at least 20 to 30 minutes, and it's not a pretty walk.
No.
So you're probably better off just waiting for the shuttle.
Yeah. Yeah, so other than that, there was a cute little antique store that I popped into. We don't usually do a lot of shopping on our trips.
Well, I don't.
Anyhow, and I got, a little souvenir there. And there are some really cool looking shops, actually, if you're into shopping. Some little boutique stores and then also some kind of chain stores, but they're all done in a nice way.
And we should actually mention there are two ports or two docks for cruise ships in Cherbourg, and we were at the further one out. The one that is right in town actually docks at this Le Citadel Museum.
Le Cité De la Mer.
Le Cité De la Mer, yeah. The blah blah blah. So you literally get right off the boat and walk right into the Titanic exhibit.
Yeah.
From your cruise ship.
Again, strange.
But the plus side is you don't need to worry about a shuttle or a long walk. We were with the other Holland America boat, the New Statendam, I think it was also, and they got the better berth. So of course we all talked about them negatively for taking our spot. But so either way you go, one requires a walk and a shuttle, one doesn't. But it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think we got off the boat bright and early. So by the time we got to the shuttle, I think that the initial crowd had dispersed.
Yeah, if you haven't seen videos of us before, no, we're not necessarily morning people. So
we try to be off the boat by 10.
Yeah.
But that to me is a leisurely morning. I don't want to be stressed unless there's something that time requires you to be off.
Right.
Early,
I mean, if we have a tour that's set up and you have to meet at 9.
Right. If it's a once in a lifetime thing, I'm going to get off the boat certainly. But if we're just going to do our own thing, then I want to relax.
Again, that was one of the reasons that we chose not to do the beaches, because we weren't sure if we were gonna, after all the hassle of getting up and off the boat by 8 o'clock, we didn't know if we were gonna be able to get down there and so forth.
Right.
So.
But we'd definitely go do that next time.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like we've done the town.
Yeah, if people stop in Cherbourg, that's really the main attraction. But they're not very close away. What were they? Maybe an hour and a half drive away.
It was definitely a drive.
It was a drive.
So it is definitely your day if you're going out there.
Yeah, and if you don't want to mess with renting a car, it worked out for our friends. But if you don't want to mess with all that, this is probably one of those ports where you just want to book ahead of time, because, like we said, we thought about going, but they were completely booked up by the time we were on the boat anyway.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and we, if you don't know, we were on this boat. We booked onto this boat like 2 weeks before I left. So a lot of this stuff had already kind of all been set in stone prior to us even joining the itinerary. So a lot of these things were kind of just not an option. Mm-hmm. And we just figured we'd wait till the boat and then figure it out.
And we're calling it a boat, but we know it's a ship.
Yeah.
We've gotten black for that before.
Yes. It is a ship. All right. Yeah. Anything else that we did?
No. So the next stop, was it the very next day? Pretty close. I think it was the very next day. We ended up stopping in just outside of Brussels, and we went to Bruges, Bruges. Excuse me, Bruges. And that was a really nice stop, and we will talk about that in the next video. So if you would like to hear about that, you can hit the subscribe button and the bell.
You won't miss it.
The bell will let you know when it's up and ready to watch. And other than that, thanks and have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.